Hello everyone, my name is Kadus Namagita. You can call me Kaitis. So I am February 2021 student in Maharishi. Now I'm taking a mobile application or a mobile device programming course as a distance, and I'm going to present you my Assignment 6 project that I did. So that's all. Let me go to the assignment. So part of the assignment requirement is to have to submit a GitHub link and also record a video of the demonstration. So as part of the requirement, it is an application for curriculum vitae, which is CV, and it has to use like fragmenters and also design principles from material design, and also it has to include the lessons that we learned from lesson 7, lesson 8, like menus, tab layouts, swipe views, bottom navigation, shared preferences, and web views. Also, as part of the requirement, we need to use shared preferences and also circular image views. Also recycler views, list views, and also even floating action button, FABs. In the contact screen, we need to have the address, the phone, the email, the Facebook, like Twitter, any social media that we have, and also being able to use like web views, all of these features. Also, at the last, we need to use also overflow menu just to show additional options that we have, and that is a requirement. So let me show you my application. So I'll try to run the application. Since previously I have logged in, that is why we're seeing my name here as a username and password. So here we have validations, like if the user, for example, doesn't enter his first name, or his username and password when he tries to log in, then we need to be able to show the username, please enter username, because we don't have username. For example, if I put my name here and forget my password, still there is a validation that says please enter your password. So after I enter any password, it's going to let me log in to the application. So this is just a demonstration of the validation, but there is no any like API connection to the application. It's just only making sure there is a field, the field is not empty, and once we have that one, it's gonna let any user any password to the application. That is just for the application purpose, because anyone who wants to try this, so they can be able to log in, since I don't have the registration screens as part of the requirement, is to have only the login. So it's not only to have the login, but I only included login. So I'm just letting anyone who, as long as they put their username and password, to log into the application. So once you log in, you will be able to see here is a toolbar that says Kaitis' CV. Now, if it was another person who logged in or who puts another name, it's gonna display their name. Let's try another thing, for example, John. So if I put in John and log in, it's gonna say John's CV. So this is also from shared preference, meaning when the user logs in, it's going to save the username and password. So that is where it's trying to populate the field in here. So when the user logs in, if all the validation is passed, it's going to store the name and also the username and also the password. So next time when we come to this screen is not going to be blank. It's going to fetch the user using the key from shared preferences and also the password from the key from shared preferences using the keys, and it's going to populate it in here. So once you log in by using the same shared preference stored value, we'll be able to display here John's CV or anyone's CV. So I'll put back my name. So this is my name and it's CV, just like it was mentioned on the requirement. I have a circular image view of my picture. This is my picture that you're gonna find on GitHub, so I use the same thing. This is my name and also my current position. There is a background which is in transparent of, I think, I can show the code here. If you go to the main, not the main, but this is on home, so it is a home fragment. So if you come in here it shows there is an opacity of 0.6, which is the alpha, and I have a picture of, just to make it, not to cover up the picture, the text is in here, I just made it a little bit transparent. And also I added a little bit of background effect for the text in here, just so it can be very clear and easy to be read. So if you come in here, I also had a background for the whole linear layout that's holding the text is in here. So for the circular image view, also here I used a library which is very famous library. It's called circular image view, and I use that library. You'll find it in GitHub. So it's a very famous Android library. I use that one for the circular image view, and I added just a stroke of white in here. So when you came in here, you'll see a bottom navigation. We have the bottom navigation just like the requirement. So here we have the home, the about me, the work, and the contact. All those are part of the requirement. So all those four are different fragments. I used what was provided by our Professor Renuka. So I used her template, and here is the template. Like for example, in the menu you will see this one. This is the thing that was provided by our professor. You'll see the care note here. I'm just adding something about my care, and also my work experience, parts that I worked on, for example, like language, like Java 8, Kotlin, web services, design patterns, SDL, let's see, and also some projects that I worked on, like WASI-app, Alter, Veritali, Com. So I try to mention some here on the home screen. If you go to the About Me, you'll find more explanation about myself, more description about myself in here. And also after that, you will see my education. My current education is I'm taking my master's international, my master's in Maharishi International University, my master's in computer science. I just added Stanford as my bachelor. It's just Addis Ababa University, but it's just to make the UI more look good, or to use something that's very famous by everyone. So I used Stanford. That's the reason why I used Stanford. As part of the certification, those are my certifications: the Android Associate Developer from Google, the Oracle DB212C Administration Certification, the Oracle, and also the Red Hat, the Linux. Those are certifications. Beside this, in the work category, we have the work experience all here, like where I worked. For example, in Meta, in Facebook, the second line shows the position that I worked. This is a company name, and this is the duration or the experience duration that I worked in this company. So in Facebook, I worked as a virtual reality content engineer, and I started working on 2020 up to today. And if you go to the second one, it's Google. It says an application developer for YouTube. It says from 2018 to 2020. So I just try to mention some of the most big companies in tech, and at the last I mentioned my current position. My current position is I work for Kforce. It says my current position is senior full stack engineer, and I just added just dummy age, year, which is 2014 to 2016. But this is a company that I'm currently working in. So we have the voluntary work that I work at, for example, Peace Corpus in Addis Ababa University, and also some internship that I took in the past, like Gavia, ICOG Labs. So if anyone wants to add, or if I want to add more experience, I can use the fab here. This is a floating action button. I can use this one, and it's going to open up a dialog for me to enter. So let me click in here and show you what I mean by that. When I click here, it shows the work experience, and in here I can add my for example, company name. I can use Maharishi, or let me say Netflix. Position as Android developer, and experience I can use 2018 to 20, let's say 24 is fine. So I can add this one, and here you'll see it in here as part of the work experience. Is going to be displayed at the bottom, Netflix. So it's going to be automatically dynamically added to the work experience. I'll try to add another one just for demonstration. For example, I can put Maharishi International University, position, maybe I worked as a teacher assistant, and the experience here, for example, I can add just only 1 year, which is 2021, and I can add this one, and it's going to add at the bottom after Netflix. So I'm using the same template for every of the new that I am going to add, but it's going to show the company name, the position, the year, the company name, the position, the year. So this is automatically being added, and I'm using Recycler View for this purpose. And each card has their own, they are being displayed on card. Here, this is a card, and also in the card I'm using another card which is for the linear. It is a linear layout, and just have the image, the text, different texts with different font size. So this is my work fragment. If you go to the contact, you will see this is all my contact, and for example, I have put my phone number. If you click on my phone number, it's going to go to the dialer screen of the application. So if you click on this one, it's going to make a phone call to this phone number. This is my phone number. So I'm using intent to go to the other screen, so it's implicit intent. Here I also have the email. If you click on this one, it's going to take to my email. Here it's gonna ask which application I want to use. I can select Gmail. It's gonna take me to Gmail, and it has a template that says this is a person, this is me, my email, and this is to someone that I want to send, and this has a subject of MDP course, and please reach out to me, as just a template of the message. So this is for the email. For the those 3 different social networks, I used a web view. So I'm trying to show in this application. Let me click on LinkedIn, for example. It's going to open the LinkedIn web page on the application. So this is the application itself, and this is my profile in LinkedIn. and you can see in here it shows the name of the app, this is something that I did. Depending on which social network I clicked, it's going to display it on the toolbar, and this is also a back arrow that takes you to the previous screen. So this is inside the application, and this is a web view. I'm rendering the LinkedIn inside the web view for my profile. So let me click on this one and go to the previous one. So you can see the transition from that screen to this one is very smooth. And also if you click on my Twitter, it's going to take you to my Twitter. As you remember, the previous one says LinkedIn, but this one is Twitter. So I'm using just a regular toolbar and displaying all the information in here. So this is my Twitter profile, and that's all. You can click on back and try to go to the other one. For example, the last one is GitHub. You can click on GitHub, and as you can see, the name has changed to GitHub, and this is my GitHub profile. You can also, just like I mentioned in previously here, this is my profile. This is a profile that I used, something that I took from my GitHub. You will see this one on the home application of the application in there. So here is a repository. Here is my course assignments. So this is inside the application, and those are the different screenshots that I took from assignment 2, assignment 3, assignment 4, assignment 5, and the current assignment, which is assignment 6. I have around 25 screenshots. So that is all about the links. So let me go to the home screen. So this is my home screen. If you click on this menu, it's going to take you, this is going to display overflow menu, meaning additional menus that I have. This is a setting application, and this is going to pop up a dialog, and it's going to make me, I can configure the application. So let me show you the interesting thing about this application. So if you click on this one, it's going to pop up the dialog, and it has a setting. It says setting. This is the icon for setting, and it has a dark mode and light mode. So currently it shows it's a light mode. So just to give a description about this, I used shared preferences. So the current, by default, the default theme for the application is light. So I'm storing that one here. If I switch to dark, it's going to change the whole screen to dark mode, and also it's going to save the setting for the dark, even if I even if I closed the application. So this is the settings. Just to demonstrate, let me click on dark. So here the whole application changed. So here the text, the background, everything just switched to dark mode. You will see everything is in dark mode here. And also here, all the screens are in dark mode. So just to show you that I'm using shared preferences. Let me close the application and come back to the application just for demonstration purpose. So I'll try to close the application, come to the application, open up, and it is in dark mode. If you remember, this screen was white, which is light mode, and here's the Maharishi logo. It is the username and password also that was fetched from shared preferences. So when the application was destroyed and exited from the system, from the instance, still we have the name, the username and password. That is because it was saved on shared preferences. So when you log in, also it has still the same theme. So in order for accomplishing this one, I used shared preferences, and also I used different styles. If you remember here, the bottom navigation, it was yellow for the accent colors. And also if I go to the work, it has a different floating action button color. So this is something that I defined in the themes. If you go to the themes, I have the day or the light theme setting and also the night, so I can change all the different settings in here. Also the same thing for the colors. Here's a color for the light mode, for this one for the light mode. If I switched to the night, it's going to use this one. So as you remember the previous one, the radio button was active for the light. Now it's the dark. That is because it was stored in the shared preferences and it's trying to display the one that was stored in the shared preferences. So this is just to talk a little bit about shared preferences. Here I talked about the wave views. Here I talked about the recycler views and card views. Also something that you can use the floating action button and open up a new screen. And you can add those contents in here. A new work experience, just like I demonstrated before. So here the other thing that I didn't show was the overflow menu. If you click on this one, it shows additional option that I have. So if I click on this one, it shows the logout option. So if I click on this one, it's going to log me out from here and it's going to take me to the login screen. So let me click on this one and show you. See, it took me from the it finished the main activity and it took me to the login one. So here you will see my name. For example, let me change the name to Tom. So if it's Tom, I can log in and it says Tom's CV. I can switch back to the light mode and it's gonna be the same. So I'm not sure if I forgot anything. Let me check my notes. So in the login, I've shown the validation and it has a toast for telling the users what happened. I used shared preferences for storing the username and password. In the home screen, also the toolbar has a shared preference. This one that I'm saving the name of the person who has logged in, and also the menus here. Beside that, those are the menus, the bottom navigation ones, the bottom navigation indicator top. I used the indicator to be on top. If you used this indicator on the top, it's going to show the indicator in here. Now I specifically mentioned the indicator to be on the top because this is a bottom navigation and it's going to be more meaningful to have the top navigation, the top indicator in here instead of your bottom. So this is the bottom. For the work, I used the floating action button. Sorry about that. So I used the floating action button, and also for contact, I have the phone number. It takes me to the dialer application. If I click on this one, I have shown you previously. So beside that, the email is going to take me to the Gmail application that was installed inside my application. The others are the social, the LinkedIn. So this is going to open up a web view inside the application and show the content of my profile. So the setting, I have the dark and the light. So I believe I have covered everything. Just to show the organization of my application, my code. So here, if you log in, this is a package, the Java Education MIU and the application name. I put here the adapters. This is the data, meaning for the user name and password, and for the work. This is a model class. This is a UI. Inside the UI, I have the activity, the fragment. Those are different fragments that you're gonna see here, and also for the dialogues. Where do we use the dialogue? The dialogue, we used it in here, here, this one, the setting, and also for the work. If I click on this one, it's going to open up the work experience. So these are the dialogues, also the fragments here, the about fragment, the contact fragment, the home fragment. Just to show you for the work, those are the links that takes me to LinkedIn, Twitter, to GitHub. Those are my profiles that you're gonna see in here. So This is for the email. This is the subject of the email, the text, and the email that I'm going to send. This is my phone number. And also I used a permission of the internet just to show the web view inside my mobile application, and also the call phone permission to be able to go to the phone screen when I click on the phone number. So inside here, in the login, I have 3 different screens of activities. The login, which is this screen, and also the main activity, which I'm displaying in here, that has all the 4 different fragments, and the web view. When you click on the web content, is going to take you to another activity, which is a web activity. So those are the different resources. Those are the layouts that you see here, and also the drawables that you see here, and the different assets. So pretty much this is the application. I believe I covered everything. Let me take you to my GitHub and show you. So this is my GitHub profile. If you go to the repository, just like I showed you in the mobile application, here is a repository that I'm going to put all my assignments. This is a code for mobile device programming, and if I go in here, you'll see all my assignment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in 6 is the one that I put all my content. So those are different screenshots for assignment 2, assignment 3, problem 1, and problem 2, assignment 4, different screenshot, assignment 5, different screenshot. For assignment 6, which is the current one, here is all the different screenshots of the application, around 25 screenshots, and I have been able to generate a PDF for this one. So here you will see all the different screenshots I took to demonstrate all the different functionalities in this application. I believe I've covered everything. So you'll find all those resources, the PDF and the screenshot, inside this folder, the assignment. And here is the application. This is the screenshot for the 25 pictures, and this is a PDF that I just showed you right now. So I believe that is all based on the requirement of the application. So thank you so much for being patient and going through all the description or demonstration of my application. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.